Hey guys, it's me, Cherie, from Funeral for My Fat. And today I'm going to talk about my journey and what it was like for me on my journey because, I have a story written on my blog and I answer lots of questions, but I've never made a video about what my journey felt like and the good and the bad and the pretty and the ugly and all of that stuff. I've never talked about it. And so I'm just going to go right into it and try and make it short and concise, but really meaningful. So my childhood, I was not overweight as a kid. Um, my mom is tiny. My dad was in the military for 25 years, so he's always been fit and into working out. My sister is small. My little brother is a typical little boy. They can eat whatever they want and nothing ever happens to them. So he was never overweight. It was just me. And I, as, as a child, was never fat, but I think I developed faster. Like I grew taller. Um, I think I developed boobs earlier than most girls. So, and those changes can be pretty hard on you emotionally as a younger girl, being taller than your friends, developing earlier. So the psychologist in me, can now see that I misunderstood what my body was changing naturally to me being fat. And so I got this idea in my head when I was 11 years old that I was fat. And that kind of stuck with me. Um, and I remember talking to my mom about it, saying like, well, my friend Stephanie, she's really tiny. And my mom's like, well, that's just her body shape. And, you're shaped this way. Um, and so I remember having those talks with my mom, and she's telling me, you're healthy, you're normal, but it never stuck in my head. And we ended up moving states from Oklahoma to Washington, and I came here and turned 13, and I never remember, I don't think I ever weighed myself. Children, I don't know, maybe I was just weird, but I never stepped on a scale until I was a teenager, probably 13, and I never remember it ever being under 200 pounds. Like, I never remember stepping on a scale and being like, oh no, I'm getting close to 200. Better start eating right. No. I have no memory of ever weighing under 200 pounds. And that's really weird to me. You just don't think about it. And so I went all through middle school being overweight. Like, at that point, I was physically overweight. It was no longer a mental thing. And when I joined high school, I did play sports when I was younger, but I eventually switched to music. And so I'm going to brag about myself. I was in like all the elite choirs at school and all the jazz things and the stuff that you had to be really good at to get into. So I kind of hid behind that I did have talents. I was really good musically, so I could hide behind that and never ever have to face my weight. So fast forward to senior in high school, and I joined Weight Watchers with my mom. She didn't have to go, but she wanted to support me. And so I did that for a little bit. I lost, I think, like 11 pounds. And stopped going, got busy. And then I wanted to go again. I don't know how many months later. But I told my mom that I think it would be better if I paid for myself. because then maybe that would be like more incentive for me to go. And I knew I had gained weight back since the last time I had went, so I was kind of dreading it. Because I knew it would be the same Weight Watcher spokesperson who was there when I first went, and I'm like, oh no, she's going to see I gained weight. Lisa's going to be so disappointed in me. And so you have your little weight tracker thing, and you have to stand on a scale and go through that whole trauma. So you sat through the meeting and got in the car with my mom, and I just started bawling. And I think that was the lowest point in my journey, was looking down and seeing 256 pounds. Like, I can visually see that in my head right now, looking down and reading that number. In fact, I still have that chart at my parents' house because it reminds me of where I've been. And my eyes are getting watery just thinking about how I felt back then. And I remember just being so disappointed in myself. And so, like, I knew I had let my mom down. Or I felt like I had let my mom down and I had let myself down. And I was just tired of not feeling like I belonged with my family. They're all so small and tiny and thin. And then there's Cherie. And she looks like she was adopted and ate her whole adopted family. Like, that's what I felt like. And I knew that had to change. So I got serious. And, but I got serious in a slow way. Like, as long as I moved in the right direction, that was all that mattered to me. And I did little steps. I started going to an all-girl gym called Curves. And that was really fun. And, it just was a bunch of really little choices that ended up being the right thing for me. So first it was vegetarian. So I cut out meat, and that made me feel healthier. But then I realized I was actually just eating more dairy and tuna fish and saltine crackers and cheese, and I would order grilled cheese and french fries at a restaurant, and that was healthier than me ordering chicken. So I wasn't really taking it seriously, and it was kind of becoming more of a crutch than anything. But I liked the idea of not eating meat, so I wanted to stick with that. And then I found the book Skinny Bitch, which is a vegan lifestyle book. So I read that, and I was like, holy God, like, I need to do this. I need to be vegan. So I made the switch. Like, I went downstairs after I read that book, and I was like, Mom and Dad, I'm vegan, and I can't eat anything you just made me, so I'm going to go figure out what I can eat. And I went to the grocery store, and I came back with, like, all this vegan food that my store had, and I just put it up in my cupboard, and I was like, that's me. That's what I'm going to be eating from now on. And, yeah, I've been vegan now for, like, 5 years, I think. Coming up on my vegan birthday. And that's the best decision I ever made, honestly, was becoming vegan. That taught me so much self-control. Because it eliminated all of my weak foods. Like, it just completely wiped them out of my diet. I mean, I couldn't eat it anymore, so it forced me to eat healthier. And I don't believe being vegan's right for everybody, but it was right for me. And then I got a personal trainer shortly after I switched to becoming vegan, and Rachel, I called her the workout Nazi. I'll never forget this. I remember it was like my second week working with her, and both me and my mom had signed up with her at like different times. And I was complaining to my mom that I had only lost 2 pounds, and I'm working out and eating all the right things, and eating what she told me to be eating, and I was only down 2 pounds. Well, my mom told her that I was complaining. So then my next session with Rachel, she made me do all of our exercises with either 2 pound weights in my hands or 2 pounds heavier than what I'd usually been doing. And I could not move my arms for a week. And she told me that she never wants to hear me complain about only losing a certain amount of weight because it all adds up. And she was freaking right. So that stuck with me. And I think that's an important thing, is like every pound is a victory. It's in the right direction. So, I got a personal trainer, and I don't remember how long that was for. I think it was just for the summer. It was a summer program that we did. And so that taught me how to use the gym. So then I started, going to the gym by myself. And then I got tired of the gym and switched to running for a bit. That didn't last long. I hate running. And then I graduated at that university, or the community college that I was going to, and transferred to the university that I am at now for my graduate studies, but I went there for my bachelor's. And I started using their gym. Oh, no, wait. First I found Zumba for a couple months before I left. And I love Zumba. Then I came to my university and they had Zumba, so I took Zumba and cycling, and the weight just kept coming off slowly. Then I met my handsome Care Bear, Dre. I love him. And he was a health and fitness major. And so I'm like, now I really got to get my butt into gear. And that was one of the things he actually found the most attractive about me, was that I had all these goals. And when we met, I was like 217 pounds. And so he's been with me pretty much for the majority of my journey. And we would go to the gym at like 5 in the morning together. They had a 5:15 spin class. So I would go to cycling classes and he would go do his workout. And then, it was really fun. We would just meet at the gym together. And so that was really cool. And he motivated me, and we motivated each other, and we'd go hiking. And so I just found all these different forms of fitness. And then I went to Scotland for a school year, and over there, before I left, I got certified to teach Zumba. And then in Scotland, I taught a couple times, and I would do Zumba with my flatmates in my apartment, and we would just run, the meadows, like this running track in Edinburgh. And so I just found different fitness things to do. And I came back from Scotland, and I was in Wonderland. I was finally out of the 200s, and I was down to 188 when I came back. And then I got Insanity, and that kicked my butt into gear, and that's how I got to where I am now, which is 140. That's 115 pounds, but it did not happen overnight. I've been on my journey now for like 5 years, and I've had good times, and I've had bad times, and I've had, I should have done that sooner, and wow, I should never do that again. It's a process. You don't wake up at your heaviest weight, and you're not going to wake up at your goal weight. You have to work for it, and you have to work for it every single day. It's okay to get discouraged. It's okay to have bad days. But in the end, what matters is the good days. And there's going to be more good days than bad days. And I know it might not always seem like that, but there are. Because you're not going to learn anything if it just happens. If you just wake up skinny, where's the learning process in that? How is that going to last? You have to find ways that you're going to be able to maintain your weight loss. So you have to learn. And if you're just doing a quick fix, you're not going to learn anything, and you're going to gain your weight back. So you got to learn to cut the junk food. You got to learn to eat healthy. You have to learn how to make it a lifestyle, or it's never going to last. That's why I'm a group fitness instructor, because with all of my graduate school, there's no way that I could work and find time to work out. So I found a way to make it work. I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just get paid to work out? So that's what I do. I get paid to work out. I don't have a choice. I have to work out. So that was my way around that. And then being vegan forced me to be healthy. So find something that's going to make you stick to your goals and make you able to reach them, because I know you guys can, and I know it's hard, and I know it's challenging, but I'm here for you, and there are tons of other people in that Fit Blogger community, so utilize it, because everybody wants to help you. But remember, you have to find what works for you. Otherwise, it's not going to work at all. I'm here for you guys, and I'm sorry this video is super long, but it's my journey, so it's supposed to be long. But I love you guys.